By creating LIVEVOLUTION, I had no idea that we would reach people worldwide. It's cool to know that we do have a worldwide audience, and with the music that we present and the content that we provide, it's good that our message is connecting with a lot of different people. We really wanted the art without the limitations of the business. As an artist, I want to be able to put my time and energy into the music that builds people up. It's about the music, the art, and where we can take it by evolving the concept of its delivery. In episode 1 and 2, we started off with the endorsement of one artist at a time, but then we decided to expand on that idea to show more music by inviting more artists to record with us. So far, we've had hip-hop, R&B, soul, pop, and rock, and we're really just getting started. The LIVEVOLUTION co-op members select the musicians. So often when an artist walks on set, it's the very first time that I'm meeting them. You can tell they start off a little nervous, and sometimes I'm a little nervous as well. But the vibe and the environment is so positive and supportive that we both can quickly adapt, and I can capture an amazing performance.
Still running on the path. I'm the tone scientist, many days in the lab. Make you feel the wrath. Still running on the path.
It's the passion for great music that unites us with the artists.
È certamente arte. E per quanto mi riguarda è la rappresentazione.
The LIVEVOLUTION co-op is a team of people that share the same passion for music and music content. Behind the scenes, we're creating live events and coming up with ideas that inspire. We all have the same goal in mind, which is to capture and captivate through the live music experience. The Good Fortune Film Tour is another example of the way we're evolving the live music experience. 4 cities, 4 countries, 3 live music episodes, world music. It's taking the local element and moving it to places that would never experience it. The audience gets to experience being part of a live set, watching performances, and interacting with the musicians like it's a local club. We're documenting the discovery of music unity and witnessing the independent direction many artists are taking, embracing our differences with love and spreading good fortune throughout our travels. Live music is energetic, it's real, unedited, and perfectly imperfect. Where local music is concerned, it's really a unifier of sorts. Musicians and music lovers of all backgrounds have the opportunity to come together on familiar ground. It's a great way to put your ear to the pulse of your community by going to the local bar and checking out a new act that can very well become your next favorite artist.
I'm Pat Snyder. I'm the audio guy. I record audio and mix and master.
I'm Lucile Schneider, and I fix things.
I'm Mike Maskorinick, and I'm the video guy.
Well, music basically has given us our business. That's what it means to me.
It's a perfectly good excuse to do what we do.
To me, I guess it's just always been a part of my life. Ever since I've been young, I've been involved in music. So I just, that's kind of the way I look at it. It's just a part of the fabric of my life. My parents had me in piano lessons when I was like 6 years old, but just for a short time with a woman down the street, and we always had a piano in my house, so I played on that, and just kind of went from there. Started a band in high school and continued on with that. When I moved down here, played in bands for a while, and when we got an opportunity to start this place up, I just thought that was good, since now I'm at the other end of life where I'm not really looking to go touring or anything like that anymore. This is the perfect thing.
just like to point out too that Mike is the only one of us who's a musician. Yeah, I play with guitars, but he's really something. He's one of the best session musicians I ever worked with.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Performance was, you know, what I was thinking when I was young, that I wanted to, you know, go out there and try and play as much as possible in venues. And actually, when I was young, I wasn't even caring so much about the money, because I wasn't thinking career. And that was kind of the thing, is that, you know, I went to college and had a career as a software engineer, essentially. And so career-wise, that kind of absorbed, you know, that thing. And I was happy doing that. But performance was always what I enjoyed doing.
Stairway West happened. I used to be in bands because I thought I was a musician at one point, okay? But I really didn't have the fire, not like real musicians have, like Mike. But what I did do is I got elected sound man somehow right around 1978 in my band. And it turned out to be the thing that I wanted to do. That's what I was good at doing. And it gave me a chance to work with real musicians, and I really got an affinity for them, for artists and their messages and stuff. And I've seen literally thousands of shows. There's all kind of theatrical stuff, and worked with, you know, all kind of artists. And over the years, I just appreciate them more and more. It's something that made me want to open a studio. I became an enabler, you know, so I could solve the technical problems that musicians have. A lot of musicians don't think that way, you know. Nowadays they do. You know, a lot of people do record themselves and stuff, but in the beginning they did not. And I was kind of a bridge between, you know, getting your music to where people can hear it.
You know, I'd always done my own taxes, so that was sort of our business experience, right? But when we started the place, you know, it was kind of easy to navigate through everything we had to do to set it up business-wise. But the transition in terms of, you know, haven't really done this kind of work. Pat had been recording, you know, like you say, in bands for quite some time. We kind of conceived the idea for this place behind, you know, in his old studio, or actually not old, it's still operating, but behind his house. So after we had that discussion, you know, it just seemed like, hey, yeah, this would be a great idea to come down here and open this place up. But I had no idea that I was going to be, you know, the video guy. But I had some experience when I was younger. I had actually done volunteer work with Channel 10, Fairfax, you know, cable access channel. Worked on a few shows, doing different jobs for them. And then with my, you know, now that everything's software oriented, with my software background, I was kind of quickened to learn all of the video software we had to use and everything. So the transition for me was mostly about learning all of the stuff I needed to do that task, the video task. That was not new to me, the concepts, but I just hadn't done it for probably 15 years, you know.
Be compelling. The more compelling the act is, the better off you are, the more you'll be noticed.
Be the record company. Handle it yourself. You don't need the labels. If you've got something compelling, if you don't know who Pomplamoose is, Google them. They've done everything in their house. They shoot their own videos. They create everything themselves. They're selling millions of copies of their stuff, digital downloads and everything else. No record company makes a dime off them. They're making that money. That to me is the future. That's what I would tell anybody who would listen to me.
A lot of the local pubs, bars, and restaurants are now opening up to the local bands just so they get the opportunity to show their chops out there so that people know who they are. And it's kind of like tit for tat, where they get money from the establishment, and yet if they're good enough, they bring in money to the establishment. And I think that's how they are helping out the community.
I think music helps the community because a lot of the people involved in it are people that feel like they have something they want to say, something they want to, you know, a point they want to make. And I can't think of a better way than to channel that into music You know, there's a lot of other ways young people that feel like they have something on their mind they want to express could express it, and some of them aren't that, you know, good for society. And I think being able to express yourself through music is a productive and, you know, good way to be able to express yourself.
I would say one thing to young musicians out there too. Don't get into that thing of thinking this is a sport. It's not. It's not a competition. It's an art. So you're not competing for anything but being compelling, interesting, to impart something. So, and there are some bands out there, some young people, I keep picking on young people, but they're the ones who do it, who do the whole, well, those guys, they're our competition. No, they're not. There are some artists that make the mistake of thinking that their enemy is other artists, and that's a huge mistake. The common foe is suck. Don't suck. And that's what you don't, you know, and it unites people. Bands that, you know, that do amazing things unite against the suck. That's what they do. So thank you guys. It's
Thank
always
you.
great working with LIVEVOLUTION. You guys are the best. Appreciate you coming here.